It's not really brushed right now, but
It don't look bad.
let me see. You remember your first trip to the hospital, right? On May 12th? What? March 12th? January. Yep, March 12th. You went into the hospital with chief complaint with the swelling in the back. They did some tests on you. Your hemoglobin was way low, way low. Your red blood cells. What's causing all that? There's issues there. They say anemic, but they gave you what, 2 units of red blood cells. Yeah, you're in bad shape. So you needed that stabilization UTMB for that first night. You was probably correcting that. I don't know if you was correcting the remainder of the treatment though, because that first day in the hospital, it wasn't too bad, was it? On the 11th floor, it started with a nurse named Lindsay, but then you could pretty much do everything for yourself, right?
Yeah, but they should have kept the drain in there.
Yeah, they just went in, they aspirated it, they didn't leave the drain, they sent you home. Okay, then you went back. We had an appointment, what was it, on the 20, it was either the 26th? It was probably the 20, yeah, I think it was the 26th. We had the appointment with Dr. Welsh. Dr. Welsh recommended you be readmitted through the emergency room. Dr. Welsh is a general trauma surgeon for UTMB. He's a pretty good doctor. He's the one that actually did the emergency laparotomy. Okay, him and his team. Okay, but he recommended that you be readmitted to the emergency room. This time you stayed on the 10th floor. Tell me about your stay there. On the 10th floor. When they put the drain in, the day before they put the drain in.
Oh, in there I was abused.
On the 10th floor. What happened to you on the 10th floor?
Well, first, you don't believe in God?
Why? Because you was crying?
Yeah.
You was crying, and a female nurse, African descent. She's actually from Africa, somewhere in Africa. She told us where she was from. Okay, that there's the first thing. Now the second thing.
She's the same one that did the butterfly needle and ruined my veins in my hand and threw 2 units of blood away when she when I asked her what she was doing. She said, "You think I'm wasting your blood?"
Real mean, like, yeah, I was there, kinda. See, the way that one went down on the 10th floor, I left her there with the first day. Because of the way that her stay went the first time on the 11th floor, it was excellent. With her first stay in the hospital, I was blown away. Very good care, I thought. So I stayed away for the second one, but I heard about, she went in for the second stay, readmitted through the emergency room by Dr. Welsh, and I stayed away the first night. I came back the next night, and I was hearing about how for pain pills and whatnot, they was making her wait ungodly hours and all kinds of crap and being real mean and rude, okay? So I showed up the next night at 9 p.m. And at 9 p.m. was the first time I ever met the evening nurse. The night nurse, she just happened to be in the room, was replacing the band on Linda's arm. And I said, yeah, down in the emergency room, they put that thing off loose. It was bound to fall off or something along those lines. And that nurse turned around and looked at me and gave me a look like, who in the hell do you think you are to even be talking to me? You do not even address me. You understand? Real mean look. Well, I let that go. And then the next time I seen that nurse was at 5 a.m. the next morning, bright and early the next morning at 5 a.m. And at this point in time, this nurse came in with a butterfly needle. We're going to take some blood. We're going to get it out your hand. Okay, so she takes 1 bottle of blood. She jumps up and she runs and throws the 1 bottle of blood away, takes off and runs down the hall, comes back with a couple of more empty vials, takes another half a vial, shaking it around real hard with the needle in the vein. Boom, 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 boom. With a butterfly needle in the vein. Takes that one out, said, nope, it's not working. Okay? Now remember how she just did this, guys. She took 1 full vial of blood, took up, jumped, ran, and threw it away. That's the time when Linda said, She asked the lady, she said, well, why'd you throw that first bottle away? The lady got real mean, rude and nasty. Jumped all up in Linda's face. Ma'am, you think I'm trying to waste your blood or something? And I stood up. And I said, oh, hold the phone. I said, wait a minute now. I said, all she did was ask you a simple, respectful question. At what time the lady gave a respectful answer. Her respectful answer was, ma'am, the reason why I threw the first bottle away was because I had to flush the line with saline. So the first bottle, I have to throw it away because it has saline in it. It is no good. Now, guys, she was using a butterfly needle. At that point in time, I did not snap. With a butterfly needle, you don't flush nothing with saline, okay, with the butterfly needle. This was not an IV line she was using. Stuck it in her hand. Linda, did the woman do anything? Did she do anything to scare you whenever I called her on that question? Did, like, take her glasses off or anything like that? Tell me, what did she do? What did she do?
She took her glasses off and got in my face.
Right up in her face, like 2 inches. Guys, if I would have been in bed, it would have scared the fuck out of me. I might have grabbed that bitch by the throat, crushed that motherfucker, and gave a hard, good punch. Oh, because I'm already in a situation where I can't do nothing. If somebody gonna threaten me in this manner, gonna freak me out. Huh? So I wouldn't be advised. All she did was cry like a baby, man. You know, I wouldn't know what the fuck I could do. They're gonna have to give me some sedation for sure. Huh? Cause yeah, what this female nurse did, I would have fucking went off. Okay, that was on the 10th floor. Now, still, I said nothing. Nobody said nothing. The day went on. 8:30 came around. They came to take her to interventional radiology. Transportation showed up at the same time that the day nurse showed up, about 8:30 in the morning. The day nurse was holding the IV antibiotic in her hand that was due at 8:30. So I said, you're going to take her to... are you going to hang that IV before they take her to interventional radiology, right? She said, nope, they can do that down there. So we went down to interventional radiology, and I told the nurse down in interventional radiology about the IV antibiotic. And that nurse said, what? What are you talking about? We don't know what. Did they send it down with you? No, they did not. Okay. Now, a couple of things. It was that day nurse, the charge nurse's job to hang that IV antibiotic. It was not the job of interventional radiology, but that's not the worst of it. They did the procedure. I figured while they did the procedure, I would come on home. I was a couple hours late getting back to the hospital. Linda, tell me about a little bit of time. How long was you in bed before I arrived back after they did this procedure and shot you with fentanyl? Tell me.
Probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Hour and a half to 2 hours, okay. And what was you feeling?
I'm scared.
Yep, scared. Nobody checked on you or nothing?
No.
Okay, guys, so I walked on the floor about 1:30 in the afternoon, okay? The IV antibiotic was due at 8:30. I walked on the floor about 1:30. When the nurses seen me walk on the floor, as soon as they seen me walk on the floor and go into the room, they came into the room. The charge nurse did with the IV antibiotic that was now, 5 hours late. So at this point in time, I went off and I told that lady just what I just told all of you all. I met the nighttime nurse at 9 p.m. This is what happened. It's 5 a.m. This is what happened. 8:30 a.m. This is what happened. And now, 5 hours late, I want this documented, I told her. She apologized to Linda for her part in the abuse from the day before. That's not all, Linda. On the 10th floor, tell me about the patient care tech and the IV. Tell me about that. Tell me about that. Patient care tech on the 10th floor, you wanted to tape a bag around your IV so you could take a shower. What about that?
She squeezed on my IV when she put the bag around my arm.
What'd she do? She grabbed directly in the middle, directly on the IV needle itself?
The IV, and it messed it up.
And she pushed hard, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's why they had to remove it and put it in the other arm.
Did you squeal when she did this?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Then Lonnie, I believe it was.
Yes. Okay, after I complained on the 10th floor, guys, the entire nursing staff was changed, and she got adequate care. Okay? Now, I haven't complained since. I've just been watching all of it, but there's a lot of, that's because on ICU, guys, she had really good care, man. Them nurses really good on ICU, with the exception of the one. In ICU, Linda, there was one nurse that, when me and Joey was there, they called the police. Tell us what happened with that nurse.
She was abusing me.
Uh-huh. How was she abusing me? What's she doing?
Well, she was basically hitting me. What it felt like.
God, she wasn't hitting her. What she was doing a type of abdominal palpations that they would do to somebody that's completely healthy in a primary care physician's office looking for problems. Okay, this is what she was doing. Now, this here is 3 days post-op. This nurse kept saying, ma'am, you're 7 days post-op. You've made zero progress, and this, that, and the other. And then she would grab her leverage on the back with one hand and on the top with the other, press deep down into an area. And then she would say, yeah, ma'am, we're going to have to get an x-ray of this area right here. Your spleen has got problems. And then she'd move over here. And she'd say, yeah, ma'am, we got to get an x-ray of this over here. Your liver's got problems. Then she'd move down bottom. Yes, ma'am, we're going to have to get an x-ray over here because now your appendix has problems. And I stood up and I said, listen, lady. I said, what are you, a doctor now? She said, no, but she's been 7 days post-op making no progress. I said, man, listen, it ain't 7 days, it's 3 days. She said, no, it's 7 days. I said, okay, that's it. I said, listen, I want your supervisor in here. She said, no, you don't need a supervisor. I said, yes, I need your supervisor, and I need him right here, right now. She said, no, you don't need your supervisor. And she snatched her mask off, and she bent herself halfway over the bed where she was kind of looking in my face, looking, I don't know, maybe trying to look pretty. I don't know what they think, okay? But she was either trying to make me love her or hate her, one of the two. I don't know. I love her or fight her. She stared me down, pulled her mask off and shit.
You didn't look like a pretty little nurse to me.
But that ain't what I'm there for, okay? So I said, yes, I need your supervisor. And then when I said that, she come around the bed. She said, no, you don't need the supervisor. She tried to grab me by my shoulders. I turned around and went outside. So I need a supervisor. I need a charge nurse and a patient care advocate now, because right now I'm wanting to change out this hospital because this happened in ICU, man. I'm like blown away. Okay, and then they sent another nurse in there. They changed the nurse, sent another nurse. He said, I'm going to have to do my assessment. He did his shit, man, young dude, man. And the dude did, like what all of them been doing. Now, understand me, I've been watching all of them do their thing. This one nurse, she wasn't doing it like them, okay? No. She was one that, intentionally causing pain. And the next day, this wound right here she might have did Linda a favor by doing that, guys, because the wound the next day, it was pouring pus out of it, wasn't it, Kayla? It was pouring pus out bad. You seen it, right?
I did see it, yes.
It was pouring out like a water fountain, wasn't it? So she busted Linda she busted you like a pimple. So she might have did you a favor being mean to you like that. Because in a lot of cases, Linda, the nurses, they are there to try to look out for you because the doctors are do some crazy shit, man. But now I'm seeing a bunch of nurses that don't give a fuck. Hey, that's what I seen there. I seen a bunch of good ones. I seen a bunch of bad ones. But the problem is, if you draw one of them bad ones, man, hell, it's really horrible. But some of those good ones I was in love with. Hey? Simple as that. But now on the ninth floor, you had good nurses. It's just that freaking, that colostomy, man, with that one nurse, she was concerned with the way the thing looked, and she's probably right to be concerned, but she freaked me out because she wouldn't let me put the bag back on like I know how. She cut the hole way extra big, leaving a bunch of exposed skin. Well, man, I was freaking out. Now I'm still freaking out the way the thing looks because it looks like it does suck back in, and it's got an opening all around it that is just horrible looking. This thing is horrible looking, guys. I don't like it. It sucks the way it looks. But at any rate, the experience there, man, the care here, man, the nurses, it's a half and half. The problem is the bad half outweigh the good half by far. Because they all got attitudes, man. They all got attitudes. And if one of them does something that's out of the ordinary, you say, hey, man, what the hell? That's out of the ordinary. You got 20 of them, huh, Joey? What do they do?
It seems to me that as soon as one of them says one thing, all of them join in trying to stick with it. Like that day in the ICU, one of them lies said, "Oh, you're threatening." All of them came in saying, "Oh yeah, they were threatening."
And nobody threatened that night, man. I might have been threatening with the doctors, but never with them nurses, man. I was with the doctors, man,
But the
in
thing is,
ICU.
it was all of them that were far away, and they came in, didn't even know what was going on yet, and they just heard the one say threatening, and that's when they all joined in. Yeah, they're threatening. I'm calling the police.
I never threatened the nurses. I threatened the fucking doctors, man. I was threatening the doctors, but if, well, we're going to be accused of threatening, man, shit.
I damn near wanted to give them a reason. I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, I
what
was
the hell?
threatening toward the doctors when I talked to the doctors and shit, man, but not to the nurses. I never was to the nurses, man. The nurses, most part, they are, for the most part, they might be some of them that are abusive, and the one there that I told you on the 10th floor, I'm telling y'all that was racist motivated. That nurse needs to be given a polygraph, okay? But this is the experience we've had, you know, we're talking open about the experience for everybody to hear. Okay, this is the experience, is it not, Linda?
Mm-hmm.
Overall, do you want to go back to UTMB Galveston for anything?
No.
No, you don't. So we're going to have to take you over to Causeway, and I think we want Ben Taub. I don't know, but I've always heard good things about Ben Taub. When I was a kid, that's one of the hospitals I used, man. I never used no UTMB, man, whenever I had money to pay, man. I don't know why we went there. Just because it's in Galveston, that's where we live, right?
I guess.
Yeah, we should have went over to Causeway, man. Yeah, Ben Taub. I've always heard good things about Ben Taub, man. I don't know. I think I would have rather even been in Doc Edwardson's hospital at Coastal Bend in Aransas Pass rather than UTMB. I get some surgeons come there, man, and give me a surgeon to take care of me over here at this hospital. Okay? You get better care, right, Lena?
Yeah.
Yeah, UTMB Galveston, the care is really horrible. And some of it is the nurses are overworked, but some of it is, man, there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of horrible shit goes on. A whole lot of horrible shit.
UTMB is the worst hospital you could ever be at.
Yeah, man, at any rate, you know, it's honest and true opinions, and we got to focus on trying to get her better. She got an appointment with Dr. Sunstein to get them staples removed. See what he says. I'm having him look. I'm asking for his recommendation because the original problem still exists on the back. So if he says she needs to be taken in for interventional radiology or CAT scan or anything else, you know what? She might be able to get the CAT scan here at UTMB, but if any procedures needs to be done, it needs to be done somewhere else. It needs to be done in Ben Taub Hospital or somewhere that is good, where we don't have trainees doing the job that are supposed to be supervised but ain't really supervised because the doctor's in the other room. Linda, when they did your last drains, put 2 drains in you in interventional radiology, was the doctor in the room or were just the trainees in the room?
It was always just the students.
Yeah, and I asked them so-called doctors and trainees, where's the professor, the actual doctor? They say he's back there behind that glass over there on the other side. That's where he's going to be. Says, that right? And then they made me sign a paper saying that it was okay, initial where trainees are going to be doing the procedure and we understand the risk. Huh, Linda? Either that or she just would have laid there and died, man. I mean, they fucked up pretty bad in the hospital, did they not, Lena? You walked in. Guys, if y'all will see where we was doing physical therapy before her surgery, there's a video on my YouTube page that where we was doing physical therapy at home. That was 4 days before the 18th, before the first surgery, okay? What was supposed to be healing in 3 days, 4 days.
Not up, but...
Well, this is a 20-minute video already, so I'm going to get off because it's going to take forever for it to upload. But that is what it is, guys.
Right there.
And that, we'll see y'all on the next one. Open and transparent.